Hello. Hello, my friends. Today it's a very rainy day outside. So I have all these tomatoes, and I have, as you can see, all these cucumbers right here, which has decided to grow really tall, and they're kind of falling over in the tray. So I do not want the stems to break, and so I decided I will give them a little transplant into a pot. It's very rare that my tomatoes, not my, it's very rare that my cucumbers grow so tall in only like a month. Yeah, less than a month. Yeah, I planted them, but they're kind of tall, so I need to get them out of here because I spend a lot of time growing these and I don't want them to be destroyed. So I'm going to do some transplanting today on the inside. So let's start doing that. So let's start with, I'm going to put them in this tall, in these things because they're taller. And hopefully they will be fine in there. I can't find my dibs, the thing that I poke my hole with. I cannot seem to find it, and I have 3 of them. I don't know what's going ahead. I can't find it. So let me start with my, actually I have some zucchini. What is this? There's a fly or something in here. Where did this fly come from? It's too early for flies. So I have some okra this year, and they have done incredible well. I'll show you guys after, but I'm not very lucky with okra, and so I'm so happy this year that I have a really great okra germination. I'm going to try to take these cucumbers out as gently as I can without breaking them. As you can see, they're so tall. They're very tall. Oops. And it seems like they send their roots. Look at that, so beautiful. I'm gonna try to plant 2 inside this pot here, and hopefully it will work. So first one, I got it in. First 2, I'm gonna put them on my tablecloth. Then I'm gonna do a next set, but these are so tall. It's like, wow. But this cucumbers, whoops, I'm making a mess. This is the first time I'm planting this cucumber, and this is the spring bupless, and these are long tomatoes. Why am I saying tomatoes? You see, guys, and this one is already broken. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's what I was trying not to happen. Anyhow, it shall survive. It will. I'm gonna try to plant it on the side like this. Hopefully it won't break. Oh my goodness. Okay. planted the Spice Master and I planted the Spring Burpee. I'm gonna label all these, put the label on all of these. And yeah, then I'm gonna move on to, I'm gonna show you my okra. So look at this, my okras are looking so beautiful, and I have two containers actually, more in downstairs. But these ones, I'm gonna leave them a little bit longer before I transplant them, but they're looking so healthy. And then I'm going to transplant my zucchini because as you can see, they're quite big and they're falling over. And then I have a few cucumbers left. I'm gonna take this one out and I'm gonna leave these ones. So I planted all my tomatoes here, my cherry tomatoes, but as you can see, I am out of space. I don't have enough trays. I have a couple over here. I can use these ones, but I still have a lot of tomatoes in here to transplant. So I'll have to find some other containers to transplant the rest of these tomatoes. But yep, let's continue planting. So I'm just gonna pick the tallest ones, the most healthiest ones, and I'm just gonna push them down there. Now this pot is a little bit small, but I don't have another pot, so it has to make do. And this is basically what I'm gonna do, because I have a lot of cherry tomatoes and I have more cherry tomatoes here. But this year I'm planting more cherry tomatoes because I find the cherry tomatoes, they do really well in pots and we really enjoy them. So I'm gonna plant a lot of them. That's what I'm gonna do. I will get some more soil and fill these things up because they're really low, but I think they'll do just fine. But I'll fill them. So I think that's gonna be it for now for this set. These here, I'm gonna have to leave them here until I find some more containers to plant them out. And these actually, they need to be transplanted, but I need to find some containers. So I'm gonna go today in the dollar store and buy some cups. I have to go today to the dollar store and get some cups because all of these needs to be transplanted. They need to go in their own little cell. Actually, I have some more cells like that. I think what I'll do is I'll buy some cups, yes, and I will also transplant some, like one tomato in each cell. I think that would work also. So I think I'm actually gonna go get those cells that I have, and I'm gonna do that. And then when I finish with that, I'm gonna show you guys how they're looking, and I'm gonna water them. So once I transplant my tomatoes or any of my seedlings, I usually start giving them my organic fertilizer that I make, or I give them fish emulsifier. Okay, like that stinky stuff. But I dilute it like a tablespoon to like 2 liters of water because that thing smells terrible. So I do that. And then I have a compost tea that I made. I have it outside. I am also going to give them a little bit of compost tea mixed up with this stinky fish thingy. But it's a good fertilizer and it helps the plants to become really green and they look very, very awesome. So let me finish doing all these tomatoes and then I'll come back and show you guys what they look like, and then we'll, mix up some stinky fish. You know what? Maybe I'm not going to give them any fish fertilizer because I don't want my basement to smell stinky. Maybe I'll just give them the organic one that I make in the bucket. I think I'll give them that today. And once it becomes warmer and I put them outside to kind of hard enough, maybe I'll give them that stinky fish fertilizer, because then it will be outside, and by the time I bring them in, the scent will, you know, dissipate. So maybe I won't do that today, because then my basement will be very stinky. All right, so I'll see you in a bit. So y'all, since I have a lot of okra, like I said, this year, and I'm so excited about that, I have just decided the first set that I have here, the baby dwarf okra, which are these ones, I am going to transplant them in this huge pot that I have here. I'm just gonna bring it in the boiler room. So let's transplant this baby okra. And that's gonna be the pot that they're gonna grow in. Let's see if I can get that out. Okay. So I'm just gonna put them in here. I think that's gonna be the forever home for the season. I wanna plant them all in there. Now look at these roots. These roots look at these roots, they look amazing. So we are just gonna transplant them. I think 4 would be good in here. I don't know about this baby one here, but we'll just push it down there. And I'll plant these ones like here, since it's a good size pot. And we'll just plant these ones in here. I think I'll put one like right here. Let's take a nice big one like this one. And look at the root is really good. And we just plant it. Oh no, I broke it, I think. Hope I didn't destroy it. Oh no. Okay. So these okras are gonna grow in this pot. That's gonna be their home, and the rest I'm gonna put them in this spot and this spot. And I'm really excited about my okras, because I have not been so successful with okras. They come up really good. One year I got nice okra, but after that, not so good. So my soil mix, I know some of you have been asking me about my soil mix. So this soil mix here is compost, chicken manure, and my compost that I made with some of my worm castings in there that I made for my worms. And later on, I usually add some bone meal and some organic fertilizers that I like to use, but I didn't add them yet. Just what I just said, that's in there for now. The chicken manure is the big thing, and this really makes my plant lovely and healthy. So in my I have ashes. Yes, in all the soil I have here with my plants, they have ashes. So there's ashes in the soil. Ash is really good for the roots, and it really strengthens the plant, and it helps your plants to have less diseases. So I always put ashes in my soil. And for my zucchini and my cucumbers, I give them a lot. Like once I put them in the pot that they're going to grow in for the summer, I just put ashes all around them, and I have lots of cucumber and zucchini. So you guys are going to see my garden. You're going to see how beautiful the garden is going to be this year. And I really put a lot of ashes there. I save ashes from my fireplace at the old house, and I just have a spot where I just pour it down and I cover it in the winter time. And once summer come, I uncover it and I use it. Then I cover it back, because I I uncover it first so that water can kind of deplete some of the nutrients that is in it, like the acid, because you want some of the kind of acidicness to come out of it. And once you get that out of it, then you cover it back, because you don't want all of it to come out, you just want some. And then once that come out, then you cover it back and then you continue using it, because sometimes if you put too much ashes in the soil, it makes it very, very neutral, and that's not what you want. But you have to know how to use ashes. It is very important. Don't just put ashes all over, because you may just be messing up your soil, okay? But cucumbers and zucchini, they love ashes, so you can put a lot there. And the tomatoes too. Tomatoes love ashes. If you put a lot of ashes on your tomatoes, you tend not to have blossom end rot. And your tomatoes, sometimes they have this kind of yellow leaves or kind of curly leaves, like you tend to not have that. So I put on my tomatoes, cucumbers, and zucchini, I put lots of ashes, and I have really, really good results. I've been doing gardening for a long, long time, and I can tell you, it really works, okay? So let me plant the rest of these zucchini here, and then we're gonna water. Something else I want to tell you guys is that okras are heavy feeders. The first year I grew okra, they were beautiful, but they're heavy feeders. So because I'm growing it in a pot this year, you're gonna have to come and give your okra a lot of nutrients. So a lot of compost tea. You're gonna have to give them a lot of manure and stuff like that, so you can get a lot of okra. So just remember, when you're growing okras in pots, you need to really fertilize them a lot if you want to have a lot of okra. And like one okra plant, like you can get like over 100 okra on one plant, because they grow really tall and it just puts off okra. And the more you pick them, the more you have. So that I know from the first time I grew my okra. So hopefully we pray blessings upon these okras and pray that we'll have lots of okras. Plus I have another container down there, and I have some more somewhere else. And yeah. So now I am going to use some of my homemade fertilizer, organic fertilizer that you see right here, to water my plants. My plants love this. So yes guys, this is my homemade fertilizer, and like I said, I'm gonna water with this. I'm just gonna use a very small amount. You don't need a lot, because these are seedlings and you don't want to give them, you know, too much nutrients at this moment and cause them to just like grow all of a sudden and grow out of the pot that they're in. So I'm just gonna give them a small amount. So let's do that. I just need to find my container that I usually use. Where is it? Okay, so I'm going to just pour a little bit of this inside the water. Just that's a tiny bit. That's all I need. That's enough. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more water in it, and I'm going to give it to my plants. I tend to use a bottle that, like this bottle, and I'm just gonna pour some here.
My thoughts are too big. Can I get some comfort, please? I guess I should have been honest. A break to my heart. It's weighing me down, baby. I'm like a river that's overflowed. The sooner you know it, the less do we hurt. Let me speak the truth. Face it, you think it's too late, but I can see past the rain. Won't you lay it on me? Turn the page and burn it. Let's make up a big bonfire on the beach with the stars as our lighters. Throw our problems in the flame.
I'm gonna give some to these little tiny seedlings because they have their first leaf already, so I'm gonna give it to them. I'm gonna give this to the cantaloupe here, and then to some white eggplant that I'm growing for the first time. And of course, these are all the transplants. I'm gonna make sure I give them a good amount. And that's basically it. And every time I water, I'm just gonna give them this all the time until they're ready to go in the ground. And this is why my plants are healthy, because I make this organic fertilizer and I give it to them, and as you can see, they're all green and they just love it. So guys, thanks for watching. I'll continue to water my plants. I am not going to bore you with watering my plants, but I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Ciao, ciao, my love. Stay positive and beautiful.
Throw our problems in the flame. We fell down to the bottom, so bottom up please. We're gonna get over this. I see the smoke in the mirrors. I'm holding the key, one step away from salvation. You're like the ocean, setting me free. Out in the open, I'm picking up speed. No bad thoughts penetrate. Hold me like this is the first time. Our destiny calls, not leaving this incomplete. Won't you lay it on me? Turn the page and burn it. Let's make